And we are back to the most awaited game, Fact or Bluff!
Good evening, good evening, good evening to all pretty ladies and handsome men watching us today.
Welcome to our late night show, together with my partner, Kim Kardashian. This is Fact or Bluff.
This is our first episode of the show.
That is right, partner. And because we are now facing a global health crisis, the game will be played virtually.
Yes, and of course, since many of our fellow suffers from depression and other uncertain feelings, we must not forget to take time, relax, and have some entertainment.
That's true. This game will bring not only entertainment, but also we can educate ourselves.
So let's meet our players, starting with
Hi, I'm Clay Angelique Ariwell, 20 from Kumatuan, Iloilo, the missing cast of the Karate Kid movie.
Whoa, the missing cast of the Karate Kid movie. So why what missing? What happened?
So, I refused the offer because I know that I'm over 25.
Is your overrated skill enough to win this game? Okay, let's proceed to player number 2.
Move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've witnessed the becoming of the next singing icon, Donny Rose Tordesillas, 20, from Antique!
Wow, the next diva! We got ourselves a singer here, partner. What does it feel to be called the next icon?
I feel overwhelmed, and this game is like a competition. I need to be in the rhythm.
That's the confidence. Let's move on to our other player.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Riza Meti Matakubo, 21 years of age, single, all the way from the place where the mountain meets the sea, Antique.
Wow, the next Miss Philippines. The competition is now on our hands, guys, so watch out.
I can wait for your last player, partner. Here it comes.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop it for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail.
Greetings, Massive. Especially to those astonishing ladies. This is Calvin Distur, Sweaty, the hottest, the most handsome dancer from Adonis Gay Bar.
Are you single? Call me when the game is done.
And now we will present the mechanics of the game.
This is a fact or bluff game. 4 players will play the game. A statement will be read by the host. The first player who will touch First, the hand button will be given a chance to answer the statement. Either it is a fact or a bluff. The player will be given seconds to answer. If he or she fails to answer or have the wrong answer, the remaining 3 players will only be allowed to press again the button to answer. The player who had the highest points will be the winner of the fact or bluff.
So players, are you all ready?
Audio Jungle.
The first question is, it is a health condition that is characterized by alteration in thinking, mood, or behavior, or some combination thereof associated with distress and or impaired functioning. A. Mood swing. B. Mental disorders. C. Behavioral disorders. What is the fact or bluff?
BB! Mental disorder is the fact!
Mental disorder, a fact or a bluff? It's correct! 1 point for Missing Cat.
Next question. It is a substance that has the potential to cause harm to life or health. Chemicals are widely used in the home and in many other places. Exposure to chemicals can cause acute or long-term detrimental health effects. A. Chemical hazard. B. Cannabis. C. Muriatic acid. What is the fact?
A. Chemical hazard is the fact.
Is that your final answer? Let's see if it's a fact or bluff. Correct! 1 point for Adonis.
Here's another one. A substance other than food, when taken in small quantities, alters one's mental, physical, or emotional state. A. Tobacco. B. Cocaine. Or C. Drugs. What is the fact or bluff?
I think it's letter C. The drugs.
Are you sure?
Yes!
Perfect! Let's proceed.
It is defined as acts of violence and threats by a group against people or property with the intention of intimidating or coercing societies or governments, often for ideological or political reasons. A. Terrorism. B. Riots. C. Crime. What is the fact or bluff?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with letter A. Crimes.
You sure are confident. Your answer is correct.
Here is another question. It is an interdisciplinary area focusing on the application of engineering principles to analyze biological systems and to solve problems in the interfacing of such systems, plant, animals, or microbial, with human-designed machine, structured processes, and instrumentation. A. Biological engineering. B. Chemical engineering. Or C. Clinical engineering. Is it a fact or bluff?
My lady, the answer is biological engineering.
Boy, you sure are sweet. But let's see if your answer is sweet enough to give you a point. Wow, you got a point, darling.
The answer for question number 6 will be found out after this break.
Honest, reliable, and #1 icon in broadcasting journalism. This is PES Car 487 in your radio dial. The Dynamics, your news, your business. Broadcasting live from the Talent Center of the University, Basta Taga West, the best. Hello Philippines, hello world, hello Western Visayas. This is JV Pinoscas, giving you the hottest and the leading news of the hour. Your news, our business. Before headlines. Local update. DOH reports spikes in mental health related calls due to COVID-19 crisis. And for health news. 17.3 Filipino adults are current tobacco smokers, according to the final results in 2019 Global Adults Tobacco Survey.
The National Center for Mental Health hotline saw an alarming spike of calls in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, including a monthly average of 53 suicide-related concerns. The data from the National Center for Mental Health showed that from average of 13 to 15 calls before the pandemic, mental health providers are now receiving 32 to 37 calls per day. Vergeres said majority of the calls are due to anxiety-related concerns. She also said suicide-related calls peaked in July 2020 with 115 calls. With the alarming numbers, Interagency Task Force Chief Implementer Carlito Galvez Jr. said, tapping religious leaders to provide guidance and enlightenment to those struggling with their mental health amid the COVID-19 pandemic. But Representative Rufus Rodriguez said that the government should invest in hiring mental health providers to properly address the situation. This is John Kenneth Pagkiran reporting.
28% or 17.3 million Filipino adults aged 15 and older are current tobacco smokers. According to the result of 2009 Global Adult Tobacco Survey, 14.6 million of them are adult males and 2.8 million are females. Filipino mainly smoke cigarettes, which includes manufactured cigarettes and hand-rolled cigarettes. On the average, male smokers consume 11 cigarettes per day, while female smokers consume 7 cigarettes per day. Among adults who smoked 12 months before the survey, 48% made a quit attempt, while only 5% made a quit attempt and successfully quit smoking. DOH are making strategic plan and massive implementation of RA 9165, otherwise known as Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002, to deteriorate the arising problem of smokers. This is Kenneth Diaz-Alao reporting. Back to you, Julie.
Don't change your dial, we'll be right back with more trivias after these reminders. Clock strikes at 24 minutes after the hour of 9. This is PES Star 487 in your radio dial. The Dynamics, your news, your business.
And we are back with the fact or bluff.
Question 6. Fact or bluff?
Alzheimer's disease or dementia is associated with alcoholism or chronic drug use. For examples of what kind of disorder? A. Anxiety, B. Organic mental disorder, or C. Dissociative disorder. So, what is fact or bluff?
B. It's organic mental disorder.
Is that your final answer? Is that really your final answer?
Yes, yes, yes.
Correcto! 1 point for our Karate Kid!
Let's proceed. These factors include personality traits such as impulsiveness, depressive mood, susceptibility to stress, or possibly personality disturbance. A. Personal factors. B. School and peer groups. C. Home and family factors. What is the fact or bluff?
It's gotta be A. Personal factors.
question. It is an awful act punishable by a state or other authority, a crime or offense or criminal offense. It is an act harmful not only to some individual, but also to a community, society, or the state. A. Crimes. B. Riots. Or C. Terrorism. What is fact or bluff?
It's gotta be terrorism. It's letter A.
How sure are you about this answer?
Yes, of course.
Excellent! They sure are really on fire, partner.
Another test, shall we? Here we go. Include bacteria, viruses, fungi, other microorganisms, and their associated toxins. They have the ability to adversely affect human health in a variety of ways, ranging from relatively mild allergic reactions to serious medical conditions, even death. A. Nuclear waste. B. Medical waste. C. Biological agent. What is the fact or bluff?
These choices are confusing. I think it's letter B.
Are you sure about that, baby? I mean, player number 3.
Hey, who's mine?
Fine, but sorry, player number 3, but the correct answer is letter C. That's so sad. Okay, so here's another question. This drug prevention and control program are carried out at the local level with the cooperation and effort of many community members. So A. Local agencies. B. Voluntary health agencies. Or C. Healthcare agencies. What is fact or bluff?
Is letter B the voluntary health agencies?
The icon is on fire! You're correct!
I know everybody is excited for our final 3 question, but let's have a breather.
Honest, reliable, and number 1 icon in broadcasting journalism. This is PESCAR 487 in your radio dial. The Dynamics, your news, our business. Now we're back and you're still listening to PESCAR, your news, our business. The Dynamics. Sit back, be aware, be informed. Listen and spread the news, not the virus.
Breaking news: mental health in the news trivia.
Good day and hello world. Don't you know that mental health is one among the most misunderstood words? Many people think that mental health is just having a mental health problem or a person who is buang or crazy. But in fact, according to World Health Organization, 1 out of 5 people around the world suffered mental illness. Fact, about 800,000 people worldwide committed suicide every year. That corresponds to 1 death by every 40 seconds. How crazy! Another fact is that suicide is the second leading cause of death among children ages 15 to 29 years old. Now, you all know.
Breaking news: e-cigarettes, are they safe? Trivia.
People of the world, don't you know? The Department of Health confirmed the first case of electronic cigarette or vaping-associated lung injury in the country. Guess what? The health department announced the case, recorded in Visayas, is a 16-year-old girl who had been using e-cigarettes for 6 months. Officials added the patient had been consuming the product concurrent with cigarettes, which the DOH tagged as dual use. The patient who was admitted initially presented a sudden onset severe shortness of breath, which requires oxygen supplementation and ICU admission. The DOH has been pushing for a total ban for e-cigarettes, saying there is still not enough hard evidence to support the health claims of the e-cigarettes industry that vapes do not cause harmful effects on the human body. As a matter of fact, the DOH defines e-cigarettes as a product made of plastic and metal device that heat a liquid nicotine solution in a disposable cartridge. It creates a tiny light on the tip and even glow like a real cigarette and produces a vapor that stimulates the act of smoking. People of the world, if you're about to try e-cigarettes, I urge you not to try and let us live a happy, healthy, and long life. Bye! Stay healthy.
For the recap in today's hottest news, local update. DOH reports spikes in mental health related calls due to COVID-19 crisis. For the health news, 17.3 million Filipino adults are current tobacco smokers according to final results from 2019 Global Adult Tobacco Survey. This has been JV Pinoscas. See you again next time for another 5 minutes of news with no bias, the dynamics, news with no exceptions, exposed. This is PESR 847 in your radio dial. Your news, our business. God bless and
keep Now let's have our final 3 questions. As of now, Cleo has 2 points, Carl has 1 point, Donnie has 2, and Risa has 2 points.
Okay, so let's continue. It is the emotional and social well-being, including one's psychological resources for dealing with a day-to-day problems of life. It is also the state of successful performance of mental function, resulting in productive activities, fulfilling relationship with other people, and the ability to adapt, to change, and to cope up with adversity. So A, social health, B, mental health, or C, physical health. What is fact or bluff?
Mental health! Letter B! I'm pretty sure about it!
I guess that you're really sure about letter B, huh? Perfecto!
Okay, here's another one. Movement in the mental health care of the United States, which occurred during the first decades of the 20th century, a period known as the Progressive Era. The leaders of these movement believed that mental illness could be prevented if it was identified and treated early. A, mental and health movement. B, physical movement. C, mental hygiene movement. What is the fact or bluff?
It's letter C, mental hygiene movement.
Player 1 is rolling right now, partner. She is on fire. Excelente.
Okay, players, so this is the last question. So the question is, it is a type of a man-made disaster that are wanton act of senseless violence perpetrated by mentally unbalanced people in today's society. So A, psychological hazards, B, chemical hazard, or C, biological hazard. What is fact or bluff?
It's letter A, sociological hazard. It's gotta be it.
You sure about that, candidate number 3? I mean, player number 3?
I told you, confidently, beautiful with a heart.
And the answer is letter A. Perfect!
And And that is the last question for today.
And now, let's see who is the winner for today's episode. Partner, can we have the drum roll? And the winner is...
And the players' overall points. And the winner is... Leo Ruel!
You deserve it, Miss Ruel. The missing cat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope that